Welcome back to Real Legend Podcast. I'm Bo,
I'm Dan.
and tonight's movie is The Godfather 2.
Part 2.
Yeah. Before we jump into that, we recorded our 20th episode last week.
Let's go.
So, little milestone for us. And let's just reflect back as a little anniversary on what we've seen so far. So, Dan, out of the movies we've seen so far, what would you say your top 3 experiences were? Like, loved, want to revisit, or know you'll revisit in the future?
Obviously, Interstellar, number 1, by far. Nacho Libre was way better than I remembered it being.
Yeah, that was a good experience. That was a fun one.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. That one was awesome.
Okay.
And then Star Wars Episode 4.
Okay, well, that was fun.
Also, Master and Commander.
Okay.
Dang it. I had to narrow it down to just 3. That's tough.
Yeah.
Which ones did I give the highest ratings to?
Oh, I'm waiting to reveal that. I just want to know if you were from your experience with them.
Yeah, I'd say those are my top 5.
Okay, I'll go 3 and then you can decide if you want to narrow it down.
Okay.
So mine definitely is also Interstellar. Like, I've just been...
Yeah.
That's the one I've thought the most about. It's the one I wanted to watch again the most. Amazing soundtrack, amazing story, great acting. Just loved it. And
it's almost a perfect movie.
Yeah. No kidding. We gave it a very good score, and we'll reveal that in a second. Well, we can reveal it now. So we gave that movie a combined score of... Where is it?
9.5.
9.5.
Yep.
My second would be Master and Commander.
Dude.
Which is crazy because I've seen that movie so many times.
So good.
But I freaking love it. It's just a movie that I can revisit. It's just very adventurous, masculine. I don't know. Just something about it. It's just like calls me to the sea, as it were, I guess.
Yep.
And then it was tough to pick a third one. Man, you had some good choices. I like your Nacho Libre pick. Raiders, that's a cool pick. I will say I had a blast revisiting and specifically talking about Star Wars A New Hope. It's one that I'll always love.
Yeah.
And so I'm tempted to make that my number 3. I enjoyed our conversation about Legend of Bagger Vance as well. But I think we've watched better movies. So I don't know. I probably would give it to Star Wars 1977. Just never disappoints. Just very well made. I was even thinking about today about like they go down the garbage chute and like there's a garbage monster. And it's just like that's such a little fantasy side quest thing where it's like, oh no, we're in the caves and there's a little monster we have to fight.
Right.
And I don't know. It's just interesting. But yeah, just fun to revisit. Look back at what we've watched so far.
Yeah, it is. I would say Interstellar obviously is number 1, and then I think Master and Commander is probably number 2, and then Star Wars would be number 3. If I had to think about like movies that have been most impactful and that I've enjoyed watching the most, I'd say those ones.
Yeah, I agree, and I think our scores reflect that. 9.5 for Interstellar, Master and Commander 8.5, and then Star Wars 8.75. So those are our top 3 scores, it looks like.
And we can all agree that The Aviator was the least enjoyable experience.
Well, sorry, I forgot one movie that I have to put in my top 3. The Gorge.
Oh my gosh. You would. You freaking would. You freaking lib.
I ruined that joke because I was going to say that as my number 3 and I forgot. I was thought about that earlier. I was like, I'm going to say my number 3 is The Gorge.
You freaking ruined it, dude. Punchline is over. Way to go.
You notice I have my shades drawn though.
Dude.
So let's get into The Godfather 2.
This one was interesting. I don't think it's as good as the first one.
I got to say right off the bat, I think people are crazy if they think the second one is better than the first one.
I totally agree. I think this one is good in like the sense that it's still a mafia movie, but I don't think it's nearly as compelling, and you don't like Michael as much. You end up just liking Vito more.
Right.
Like,
I want to say that. I think without the Vito stuff, I wouldn't have liked this movie like at all.
I totally agree.
And it's so funny that I had no idea like it was going to be any kind of backstory to Vito. But we talked about in the first, when we reviewed Godfather #1, or just The Godfather, Like I was like, I would love just like more backstory on Vito. Like it'd be so cool. And
We
then
got it.
we got it. So
His story is awesome.
so cool. And Robert De Niro did a great job at being young Don
Oh, is he Robert De
Vito.
Niro?
It's Robert De Niro, man.
Really?
It's wild, right?
Really?
Yeah.
No. Look what he's become.
I know. Well, this guy too, like Al Pacino is crazy, bro.
Man, these guys have just become lib soy boy cuck monkeys. That sucks.
Well, that's Hollywood, baby. I mean, you either fall into the program or you don't go anywhere.
What is the Batman quote? You
either die the hero or live long enough to become the villain.
Exactly.
Yep. That's it, bro.
That's what happened. They became the villain.
Has there been one person that's escaped the Hollywood system that's like, I'm successful and I'm an American or conservative, American loving conservative?
Or at least maybe not just someone who like spits in your face if you don't agree with them.
Sure.
Like Robert De Niro came out in the last election and he said the nastiest things about Trump and about Trump supporters. It's hard for me to like if you just want to act and do your own thing, that's fine. But as soon as you start slinging mud, I can sling it right back.
Right. And that's what's so interesting going back to a movie that I've never watched, like The Godfather, these 1 and 2, is like I get to see these guys that have been famous my whole life that actually had these roles that I've never seen, and it's like, man, he was cool in this movie and I liked him, and then he just becomes it's just part of that system of Hollywood.
It's sad. Yeah.
But let's really talk about Mariana Hill.
Just kidding. Cow. Just kidding. Freaking poor wife. Then again, when you're married to a dork.
Is this the chick from Rocky? Yep, it is. That's crazy.
Adrian.
It's Adrian. Connie Corleone is Adrian.
Yeah, I think we probably both agree that this one, it was too long. And
this could have been 3 movies.
Yeah, this one is too long. I think it's a little meandering. Story's not super clear, like for half the time, and then when it is clear, it kind of just makes Michael not look as sympathetic as he was in the first movie. In the first one, you have a lot of sympathy for Michael's character, but in this one, it's kind of just like, dang, you're kind of horrible.
Yeah.
I didn't like him as much.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I agree. And the movie doesn't really give you a reason to like him. I kind of want to just jump into spoilers because I have some thoughts. Okay. Well, we're going to jump into spoilers. If you haven't already, go check us out on YouTube and Instagram. YouTube, that's Real Legends Movie Podcast. There we post, and as well on Instagram, upcoming movies we're going to be watching, as well as polls and different things where you can help us decide what to watch next. Master and Commander came by request. It was one we put out there. The people spoke. We watched it. We loved it. It was on the list, but it was good to hear from the fans that they wanted to see it. And it's gotten a lot of views. So a lot of listens. So it's pretty cool. All right, jumping into spoilers for The Godfather 2. Never cross the family twice.
Seriously.
If you're Fredo, you crossed the family, and Michael said never cross the family. And then he did it again, and look what happened. But I really wanted to get into is, you say like, yeah, this sympathy for Michael, it's not really there, and I agree. But it's interesting the movie ends on this scene with him and his brothers right before his dad's surprise birthday, and Michael reveals that he's joined the army after going away for college, like trying to live his own life, and then joins the army even more to live his own life. His brothers are pissed. I don't know. I just want to hear your thoughts about it. I have some thoughts about it.
Do you want to start at the end?
I don't know.
You want to start there?
We don't have to start there. We'll get to it then. We'll get to it. I'm
happy to do it. I just want to make sure we do it in uniform.
It was just the first thing on my mind, but yeah, we could start at the beginning. I don't even know if I want to go through everything in this movie.
It's a lot.
I mean, it's a long movie, and I don't have that much to say about it. So I just want to say more of the thoughts that I have going away from it.
I think like the first movie does a really good job of giving you the mafia feel. Like Don Corleone is Don Corleone for a reason. Like first scene is like this guy petitioning his help, and he's like, "Come to me in the day of my daughter's wedding. This ain't friendship." And it's like it gives you that feeling of, okay, this is exactly what I'm going to be getting throughout the rest of the movie, and you get it.
Yeah.
In this one, there's no really like moment where Michael has like that kind of. You sort of have it with the senator, and you're like, okay, cool. Like I'm still on Michael's team. He's kind of a badass. He's tough. He doesn't take no for an answer. But that's pretty much like the extent of it. And then the rest of the movie just kind of goes all over the place.
Yeah, I feel like it really just meanders and like there's not like a solid story with Michael leading his family
Mm-hmm.
and like in the family business. He's obviously has plans and he's trying to do things, but then it just like feels like one thing dead ends here, and then he tries to kill these people and it doesn't work, and then he's in
Mm-hmm.
on court for leading the mafia, and then he gets off by basically threatening a man's family, and then it's
Yeah.
like it kind of wraps up at the end where he gets like revenge on everyone, but it wasn't like I don't know. I just didn't feel like there was like a good arc or story with.
I agree. It kind of sets it up because like you're curious what's going to happen in the first 20, 30 minutes. And then the shooting happens and you're like, okay, cool. Like something's going to start happening.
Yeah.
And then I feel like it just takes way too long for all of that extra stuff to happen and for Hyman Roth to really be like sussed out.
Yeah.
And then like it is cool like when you find out that Fredo is the one who double crossed him. That's kind of an interesting scene.
Yeah.
But that's in like an hour and a half into the movie.
At least.
Like in between then I couldn't tell you anything that really happens. It just kind of goes on forever, and then there's tons of scenes where someone's talking but you can't really hear them. It's like very mumbled. Like you had the volume up to like 80 at some points
Yeah.
because it was just so mumbly.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of exposition in those moments, and you're just supposed to kind of catch on.
Yeah. I mean, most of these movies are just people in a room talking,
Mm-hmm.
which is not always bad, but I mean,
Can be great. And
yeah.
there's scenes that that are really awesome, but
Yeah.
it does feel, yeah, just kind of meandery and
It's the it's not only that, but when it starts too, we get this flashback that's kind of long.
basically everyone in his family's killed except for him. He escapes to America, and that's like the beginning of Don
Yeah.
Corleone's life story.
Which I almost feel like they needed to be two separate movies. Like I would have loved like Don Corleone's his like whole story, backstory being like its own movie,
I
and then
agree.
have Michael having. I mean, I get how they kind of play off work the like how things were when his dad was young compared to how things are with him now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just feel like Michael's story is not very strong, and like now that he's already arced from the first movie as being like a guy who wants to live his own life and do his own thing to realizing like I'm the best person to step up and take care of my family as like the
Mm-hmm.
Godfather, as
Right.
this leader of the mafia, even though that's not necessarily a good thing, like as far as morally good.
But for his family.
But that kind of whether that's a upward arc or a downward arc, like he does it, he changes, he chooses and becomes. In this one, it's like, well, what does he have to change or become?
Yeah, he kind of just stumbles along and kind of lets everything fall apart. Like his wife hates him. His brother's disloyal to him. His empire is like kind of growing, but it's under investigation. He has tons of people flip flopping on him. His attorney too, like seems super
Wishy-washy.
disinterested,
Yeah.
yeah. Whereas before, like with Don Corleone, like he had nothing but respect. Everyone respected him.
Yeah.
And so I think it is interesting because it's not necessarily like a happy ending. It's like a wow, this is how life is. You know,
Yeah.
if you're trying to live up to your dad's in like if you're trying to fill your dad's shoes, and he had his entire life to develop this kind of personality and attribute, and his father was assassinated and his mother was killed and all his siblings were killed and he escaped to America, like
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to be like him. And so as soon as you put yourself in that situation, things are going to start falling apart. And it eventually it's like you do have to pay the piper eventually. Like your family is a wicked, horrible crime family.
Yeah, and your relationship with your wife, you've been lying to her.
Yeah. So like it's almost a good story because it shows like, hey, you can think that this stuff is cool, being a gangster is like awesome and stuff, but like eventually everything just falls apart.
Yeah, and I don't think Michael thinks. I mean, yeah, I think there can be a perception. I don't know, think Michael necessarily thinks that. I feel like he kind of just fills the role that he feels he
Right.
needs to with his family and his dad. But you're right. There is this contrast between Don Vito's life of him being, younger, similar age as Michael, and how he built his empire, and then Michael taking over and how different it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like the good old days are the good old days, and now it's like it's kind of crappy.
Things are just falling apart.
I think part of that, what the movie touches on, that stuck out to me anyway, and I'd love to hear your thoughts, is the idea. Like it kept mentioning this idea of if your friends or your partners are only in it for money, then like can you really trust them?
Yeah.
Because if they're in it just to make money, then how that's not really any kind of loyalty. And we see Don Vito when he's young, it's all built on like, I'll remember, I'll be a good friend to you, I'll help you. If you help me, I'll help you. And it really becomes about him and his friends growing this thing where
Mm-hmm.
they look out for each other and they're close, to where Michael kind of has to step into it and it's like, well, I have my family name. I have Tom, who's my, stepbrother, adopted brother. And then it seems like all the people he has around him now are new. Like we don't see any of the old gang in this second film that were close and loyal to his dad and loyal to Michael.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like this idea that he's just ruling off of trying to like make deals with people or people having a vested interest, but as soon as someone else makes them a better offer, like, well, there's no loyalty there.
Yep. I think that that's one of the. I love the scene where where Vito is talking to the guy who's trying to throw out the widow with the dog, and
Yeah.
the renter's like, "What are you talking about? Like, she's got to go. I already have somebody up." And he just says, "Go and talk to people about me.
Yeah.
Ask my friends what they think about me."
Yeah.
And the guy comes running back, gives him all the money back, and lowers her rent.
Yeah.
And so,
he's like, can I sit? Is that okay?
and so again, to your point, money is important, but it's not as important as your reputation and your relationships.
Yeah.
Like he has the reputation that he will back you up or he'll kill you. Like your friends are your dead. And that kind of relationship creates an intense amount of loyalty that can't be bought.
It's almost also like too, I wonder when he goes and meets like the mob boss in his time in New York when he's young.
The Black Hand,
Yeah, the Black Hand
Fanucci.
Fanucci, yeah. So he goes and so when he goes, I want to get your feedback on this. So when he goes and visits him, he's like, friends, like I'm gonna take care of this. He wants to like now a piece of our money, just like he's trying to take from everyone in this neighborhood, but I'll take care of it. Do you think like when he goes in there and he makes an offer like, hey, this is all I have, here's the money, take this, like I'll pay you more another time, but this is all I can give you right now. If the Don, if he hadn't come up and like pinched his cheek and like kind of still, while kind of respecting him as far as like you've got balls, but like I'll get you a job, like we'll find more ways to use you and make money. Do you think he was always going to kill him after that?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I
That
wonder
was his whole plan, was that he was going to give him this, see how he reacted to it, and then either way just blown him away because he suggests that first. He's like, why don't we just go kill him?
True. He's like, there's three of us, there's one of him.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we have to pay him money?
And I think that's really like a cool lesson in life, actually, is that you think that there are rules and you think that you have to kind of like go a certain way to be on top or to like be the guy. But sometimes all you have to do is just be the guy.
Well, yeah, also it's also a lesson in like how sometimes we subject ourselves or we're scared, but we're actually stronger in numbers than the person or thing we're scared of. So it's
True.
like why are we thinking that way? Like we need to realize and not live in fear against that or things.
Yep.
But
Yeah, you take out pretty much all the scenes from Michael's life and make a whole movie about Don Vito's like upbringing and like include a little bit more in there.
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
I would watch that in a heartbeat.
I also want to bring up, I mean, we'll probably just touch on a bunch of these because they're cool. 'Cause it's my favorite part. When he gets fired from the grocer because Don Fauci's like, "You're gonna hire my nephew," and I was like, "Oh shoot, he's gonna fire Vito." And Vito, the guy's like, "I have to let you go," and Vito's like, "Hey, don't worry about it. I understand. Like, you've been great to me. You've been like a father. You took me in here. You gave me work. Don't worry about it." And leaves. And then the guy comes and tries to offer him groceries on top of it. He's like, "I feel so bad. Like, take this for your family." And like in my mind, I was like, "Oh, that's good. Like he's helping him out. Vito could have some food for a while till he gets his on his feet." Vito's like, "No, it's okay." It's like, "Oh my gosh, Vito, dude, you're such a freaking man."
He is. Well, here's the phrase that I like that he says a lot. He says, "I consider what you've done a favor."
Yeah, I like how he's just like, "I'll remember," and he like taps his head,
And that
and he
right,
does.
yep, and that right there is the difference between Michael and Vito.
Yeah,
And that right there is how you get power, is you let people know that what they've done, that you're going to remember it, and that at any time they could call on you. Therefore,
you can call him.
you can call on them.
Yeah,
So you create loyalty like that.
yeah. It's good to acknowledge too when people do things for you, or like, yeah, it's helpful, right? If you're like, "Man, I really appreciate that. I'm gonna remember this," and yeah, he's just
Like if you
reinforcing.
need
He's
anything,
reinforcing relationships and like, yeah, like you were talking about. If you need anything, and he's willing to get his hands very dirty, but he doesn't lead with like anger or like force. It's relationships, favors. Yeah.
So there's a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
You ever heard of it?
Yeah.
And he says one of the big differences between someone who's middle class, someone who's lower class, and someone who's upper class is the idea of favors. So lower class people think that everyone owes them a favor, but they offer nothing. So like they think the government owes them a paycheck or food stamps. Middle class thinks that you always owe someone else a favor. You're always giving, but you don't want to accept other people's help. And so you're like willing to like give other people stuff, but if someone offers you something, you don't take it because you don't want to feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Upper class people though see favors as a commodity and they exchange them as if it's another currency.
Yeah.
And so other upper class people will do things for you as a favor because they know you will pay them back at some point.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see favors as a commodity and as a resource that you can use, and you see this with Vito.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't need the money, he needs the favors. All the accumulated favors that he builds up is his wealth.
Yeah. And it's this idea too that there's things money can't buy you, but favors, like you call it a favor, it's like you have to.
Favor is loyalty.
Yeah.
People criticize leaders all the time for wanting loyal people. Like people were talking about how horrible it is that Trump put a bunch of people in his administration that were loyal to him. But loyalty is one of the most amazing and admirable traits, is to, because again, you can't buy loyalty. Loyalty is something that is created through the relationship.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to find. And so if you have it, you need to use it.
And I think it's also, again, like we talked about Master and Commander, where if you want respect, respect people, and then they can return it unto you. It's the same with loyalty. Like Don Vito, he does a good job at like being loyal to the people, and like, "I'll remember. And thank you for doing this favor. I'm loyal to you." And then they, in return, have this loyalty and respect for him.
Yep. So at any time, if he needs something, he can call on them.
Yeah.
Because he remembers this thing, and it was a big deal. And so they're like, "Oh, like I want to keep doing things for him." He remembered. And then also, if I ever need anything, he'll help me.
Yeah, it's such a cool.
I'm gonna start.
Cool.
I kind of want to start doing that. I want to just be like, you know what? That was an awesome favor. I'm gonna remember that. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
And just like see how that changes the dynamic instead of just saying thank you.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna remember that you did that. That's an awesome favor of you.
Yeah. If you need something, call on me, and I'll take care of it.
If you ever want me to pay you back, you let me know.
Yeah.
From this favor.
Yeah.
explicitly like spell it out, and who knows, maybe you get something.
Yeah, I like it. I might just do the same. I like it.
The book Poor Dad, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and there's a bunch of other books that talk about this, that like favors are a commodity. I don't know how to do it, but seeing how he works and seeing how lots of really successful people work through favors is an interesting way of looking at things instead of looking at it through like a monetary way, looking at it
Yeah.
through the lens of favors.
Christo also talks about this idea of kind of a similar concept, right? Where it's like be thinking like don't like long term, right? He gives this example of like someone he now is friends with and works with, where it's like how they met was the guy reached out to him and was like, "Hey, I know you're doing this like presentation in blah 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 town. We're coming out. We do photographs. Like, can we take some of your photographs and send them to you?" So like just offering a favor, right? Showing up, like we like your stuff. We want to support you. We want to show you our stuff. And it's like you don't owe us anything. We just want to give this to you. So he does. And then just over time, because it was like they weren't looking for anything in return from him. They weren't like, hey, can we have a job? Hey, do you want to buy our photos? Like they just built this back and forth relationship, kind of like Don Vito, uh, to where now they're close friends and they do a lot of work together and they're both growing and being successful in their different uh, careers. So I kind of seen another testament to this idea.
Yeah, and I don't, and I think that like one of the things that middle class folks struggle with, this is just from the book, but I'd say a lot of people in general, they don't want to be the first one to do a favor because then they feel like they're being manipulative and that they want to like force the other person to do something back for them. But you're just benefiting them. If they want to give it back to you, they can, but
Yeah.
they don't have to.
Yeah.
But like you reaching out first and offering that favor and just being willing to do it, like you said, that can create a meaningful relationship.
Yeah, and if it's genuine, especially, right? Because if you're sending out something genuine, just the law of the harvest, right? What you sow is what you reap. So if you're genuine, like, I just want to do this because it'd be cool. I like your stuff. Here it is. And then it's like, I have no expectation of outcome. I have no expectation you're going to ever give me anything back. But, you know, that's how you build relationships. You're putting yourself out there and you're letting someone else do whatever they want with it.
Start doing things for other people and say, here, let me do a favor for you.
Yeah.
Boom, there it is. And then one day, once you've accumulated enough, you can say, hey, killed my brother.
I need you to take
and they're like,
out onto a boat.
All right, I have to. he did a favor for me once. I've got to do it.
Back to the old swimming with the fishes.
But again, we're just talking about like the cool flashbacks, not even the real movie.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's a big part of it, but yeah, it's true. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. It was kind of confusing.
I think that the abortion scene is really good, actually.
Yeah.
I think that was like the only scene.
It's very intense.
Yeah, that I actually really felt like some strong emotion. All the other scenes with Michael are just kind of like, nah, I don't know, kind of boring or drawn out. That one though, like the lines, the dialogue, the tension is just so intense.
Yeah.
Two wrongs don't make a right, I get it. But like when Michael does it, it's like, geez, but also it's like I can totally see.
And I know what you're talking about too, because like when his face goes from like, I want to be better, I want to change, I want us to be together, and then it goes from like that to just his face gets so angry and just like he can't believe what was done to him.
You see the adrenaline just coursing through his veins, and it's like she just killed his son intentionally.
Yeah. It's pretty jacked up.
I'm just trying to think of like morally equating those. Like,
so I don't like any of it. I think like when we were watching, I was just like, it's just all of it's just so unhealthy. You're lying to your wife.
It's true.
And
he doesn't deserve to get his child killed.
No.
But man, like he really set himself up. He lied to her constantly. He doesn't ever like, you can tell he doesn't even like being around her either. Like there's a scene where he like walks in and she's working on something and he just doesn't say hi to her. And it's like, dude, you're ruining your marriage. Like, what do you expect her to do? Like, just always be happy with you treating her like crap?
Well, that's why it was hard in the first movie when he goes and gets her and says, like, I love you, I want to marry you. I was like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
I was like, no, you don't. You were all set with your little Italian family until she got killed.
Michael's very, he's very
unattached.
Yeah. He's very just like logic and kind of conniving. Like he just wants to have things for um what's it called? Like utility's sake. It's not for like the relationship, which again is why he ends up
Yeah.
not being as successful as Vito. And he's got a really bad temper.
Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like he has a good control of his temper. It's definitely not like his brother, Sonny. Is it Sonny?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just off the handles all the time.
And then you have Fredo, who's just even if he
Weenie.
got mad, who cares? What is he gonna do?
Well, he did get mad at Michael at one point.
Michael
He's like,
just
"I'm your
looks
older
at
brother."
Michael looks at him and he's just like, "You're not my brother.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about
He's
it?"
like, "I got everything I needed from you. We're no longer family. I don't want to see you again."
Yeah. It's just a hard scene. I like that scene
Yeah.
too though. And it's just yeah, like the tension there and like the emotion, you just really feel it in that scenario. I think it's interesting that she says that abortion is a unholy thing.
Yeah.
So like I love to hear that because today abortion is not only accepted, it's promoted.
Yeah.
And so it was nice to hear her at least say like I did something unholy like our marriage, abortion. And it's like wow. That's exactly what it is. It's like one of the most unholy things you can do is kill your child.
Amen. Yeah, dude.
And we used to understand that.
Right. I don't know what's happened to us. I mean, that's obviously a sign of the morality and state of our society.
And obviously like as a man like you have a duty to protect your wife. It's really interesting cuz I don't know how I feel about him hitting her cuz like you see it and it's like geez man, like you shouldn't hit a woman. But what she did is just so horrible too. And so you sympathize with Mike like in that scenario and it's like I don't know if like in that moment I don't know, man. It's hard to say.
Yeah,
If you knew your son was killed, like
I feel like I'd feel very betrayed, and there probably would be anger, but I'd probably be mostly heartbroken.
yeah,
But she is going off on him pretty hard.
both of them are just not good people.
No.
And that's so
Well,
like
she was. I mean, I guess they both were kind of good people at one point.
yeah,
I think
true.
probably her more
And
than
then
him.
he's dragged back in.
But she kind of gets, and that's kind of why I think she says like, "I've done something unholy, like our marriage. Like this marriage is unholy because from the moment you came and got me and said I want to have a
Yeah.
family, I love you, it's been lies,
And she's right.
and it's been unholy what you're doing to sustain our family and the things you're doing. So it's
Yeah.
why yeah,
And
it's not good."
she's totally right that it is unholy. That's what I like more about the first movie too, is that you kind of feel like more sympathy. I've said this before, but like
Yeah.
you see Michael as a very good person at first, and then slowly you kind of see him descend into more bad things. But you think like maybe he'll get pulled out of it. But in this one, it's basically just like everything's falling apart. Michael's not a good guy. His life sucks. His wife is leaving him, killed their son. He lashes out. He like all his fam like he's killing his own members of his family. They're double crossing him. He's got no loyalty. It's just like a mess.
Yeah, and now I see again just why they contrast Don Vito's life to show like how different they are.
How to be a mob boss
Yeah.
effectively.
Yeah.
Well, I think that the principle applies to all people who want to be a leader is that your relationships matter with other people and how you treat them has a huge impact on how they treat you back. And so if you use people for utility's sake or just for your own personal pleasure, that's how they'll see you. But if you do it out of love and genuine kindness and love for them, then they'll send that back.
Agreed.
And that's what Vito does so well.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't benefit at all for having that lady.
He had no reason. He's had a horrible childhood too. He has like no reason, like incentive to be nice to people.
Mm-hmm.
Like he could be very afraid or like mean towards people out of like what's happened to him with his family being murdered in front of his eyes.
Yeah.
But when he comes to America, he works hard and he wants to help people. And even when people have to do things like fire him, he's not angry or vengeful.
Yeah.
He just tries to go and really he gets into like crime from this guy who tells him he's gonna do him a favor.
Yeah.
And then it's like the favor is like, we're gonna go rob this place and give your wife a rug. It's like what?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, well, I guess this is a way to live in America.
Yeah. Well, it's also another interesting kind of like look into like an immigrant community where like you technically are in America, but you're not really in America. Like you've brought all of your traditions and values and lifestyle, and there's like almost no police at all. And so you're basically just in another version of Italy, but you have the benefits of the economy of America. So like
Yeah, and some
that's
of the laws.
it's one of the reasons why the mafia like flourishes so much is because all these people come in and it's like, how are we supposed to govern these people like with police and stuff? We don't
Yeah,
speak their language. We don't know what's going on. It's hard to get in there. So
yeah,
it's an interesting dynamic as like I don't know, just as an American seeing like them celebrate Italian things, Italy in the country, and everyone speaking Italian in the streets, and it's like this is basically just like a smaller version of Italy.
yeah. It's like a
And you see
transplanted version.
how Italy works when they're in Sicily. Basically, these
Exact same.
the mob bosses run the whole place,
Yeah,
and they're the ones who are in charge of things. And there's no real police, and there's no real government.
and
And
if
if
they
you
want to kill you, they'll kill you.
yeah, and it's just like you bring whatever you had back from your home. And so it's just yeah, that was just another kind of thought that I had just
That
about immigration in
man,
general.
I could talk more about this actually because it is interesting because people do bring what they have and what they know in
Mm-hmm.
any situation, right? Be that in a marriage, be that in a country, people bring what they know and what they've been brought up with.
Yeah.
Story questions. I don't know if we want to apply them to Michael or Don Vito, but whose story is it? What do they
I
want?
think
What do
it's
they
more
need?
Michael's, honestly. Unfortunately.
I feel like, I mean, he wants control. He wants to be like this powerhouse, but I feel like the movie is kind of hinting that he needs and but doesn't needs to like but he's the one that says it. He's like, I feel like there's no loyalty because people are just in it for business. And like, how can you trust people?
But he hasn't built up those
But yeah,
relationships.
he doesn't do that. So it's
He
almost like an
yeah.
anti like where it's like instead of him like realizing what he needs to do and doing it, it's like he sees what he needs to do and he doesn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to
It's
me anyway.
it's true. It's like if you're on a bad diet and you're complaining that you never gain weight or you never lose weight and
So
that
you just eat more.
you just keep doing what you're doing. It's like you can complain all you want about it, but unless you change something, your results are going to be exactly the same. And Michael's too strategic for his own good. He can't just like be a person. And in every scene when he's interacting with someone, there's no smiles, there's no jokes, there's no asking how they're doing.
Yeah.
He's just pure like business.
Yeah. Like his dad from the very beginning. I mean, we see him dancing with his wife at the beginning in this one, I guess. And it's like, okay, is there something there? Or is he I don't know. It doesn't really go anywhere from there. And then on contrast, his dad in the first movie is like, we're not taking the picture without Michael, and like he cares about his family, and
When
he
someone
spends time with his
yeah,
grandkids,
when
and
someone comes in, he asks them how they're doing,
yeah.
how their family is. Yeah, just
And I
doing
think that's what shakes Tom, right? It's not the idea that like I'm not loyal to you and the family. It's like we just don't like your dad had a relationship with the
yeah.
people and with me, but you, it's like we're supposed to be brothers, and I've wanted that,
Yeah.
but you don't
You were
treat me like a relationship.
mm-hmm.
You just treat me as like a tool.
Yep. Which will breed resentment, which will breed um disloyalty.
Yeah, so I feel bad for Tom, really. Like
Yeah.
he's like stuck in this situation, really.
Well, you see too his Michael's inability to actually have a relationship is when he comes home and he says, "Did you get my son something for Christmas?" And
Mm,
Tom's like, "Yeah, I got him a car."
yeah,
Okay. And it's like Michael didn't really think to get his son anything. He just expects Tom to do it. And then he's like, "Okay, what do you get him?"
yeah,
So again, he like doesn't even have a real relationship with his son.
yeah. And I think that's his son is suffering from it.
Yeah, you can tell that his son is really yeah, and then their divorce too is so messy when she shows up at the house and the son like refuses to give his mom a kiss and he just shuts the door on her and it's just like, jeez.
Or like his sister comes into the room at the funeral where he's kids and him are in there, and his kids like just are sitting there rigid, not doing anything in front of their dad because they're probably just too scared to do anything. And she's like, "That's not good. That's
No.
not good."
And that's why it's hard to be on Mike's side. But when you see this movie as a comparison, I think that I like it more actually. When you view it as this is just two ways of looking at leadership.
Yeah,
And one is effective and one is ineffective.
yeah,
And here's a good showcase of it. When you look at it like that, the movie's a lot better.
yeah. I agree. I think from that perspective, after we've talked about it, I do like that element,
Yeah.
but yeah,
It's hard
let's
for
see
me to
about.
still say that I like this one more than the first one
Oh
though,
yeah.
because again, the first one you just get to see awesome leadership the whole time and awesome lines. Like
Even in that movie, Michael has more relationships with people,
yeah,
right?
in the first movie, there's like a bunch of like remarkable moments when he says, "Yeah, they massacred my boy." Like that's a meme. People will like throw that meme in all the time
Yeah,
when he sees his son, when he sees Sonny, and then make him an offer he can't refuse, and the dead horse, and
yeah,
like you come to me on the day of my daughter's like
yeah,
all of these lines. Like, I just mentioned four off the top of my head.
yeah.
I can't think of a single one from this one that's like memorable or intriguing or that I would say and someone would know what I was referring to.
But
Not much in this one though.
the only thing I thought of something finally. Like the only thing we get from Michael where it's like some ounce of like personal relationship is when he goes to his mom for a short scene and he asks about his dad. He's like, "How did dad do it? What does he ask her?" He's like, "How was dad strong?"
Why
Or
was he so strong? Did he think that his strength was what was tearing apart the family?
yeah, and then she's like, "I know you feel like you lost your son and you blame yourself." And he's like, "No, I just feel like I'm losing the whole family. And how did dad do it?" And like we're the whole time seeing how Don Vito did it with the flashbacks, with the stuff in
Right.
the past.
I think that's another critique I have of the movie actually is that there's way too much Italian. It's I get that they have to do it because they all would have been speaking Italian in the 1910s and 20s
Uh-huh.
when they just got off the boat. I understand that. But I always feel like when I'm stuck reading subtitles, I don't immerse myself in what's happening on the screen as much.
Yeah.
And so I was reading subtitles for probably like a third of the movie. And that scene where he's talking to his mom is in Italian. So
Yeah.
it's not like I can think about what he said. I have to be like, what did I read?
Yeah. That's why I don't like putting on the captions or subtitles for movies
Yeah.
because it's so
So I would
distracting.
much rather it be like, okay, they're quote unquote speaking in Italian right now, but the audience, we can hear it in English. That'd be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they do that in all sorts of movies where they're like Nacho Libre, they're speaking in Spanish the whole time, but it's in English.
Yeah. Like we're just gonna pretend.
Right. This is my mother's lucky machete.
Yeah, exactly.
They say a little like, word in Spanish, but it's like I don't need subtitles. It's great.
Yeah. All right, let's just round it out if you're ready for scores and legend or letdown.
I think it's a letdown.
I agree. I think it is a bit of a letdown. If it wasn't for the Don Vito stuff, I would say absolutely let
I
down.
agree. I'd give it like a 6.
Oh wow, yeah.
I don't think it's anything really memorable. I wouldn't want to watch it again, and I wouldn't recommend it to people. It's way too long as well.
Yeah, it's very long. There's a built-in intermission to the movie.
3 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
How
brutal.
long was the first one?
Just above 3.
Okay.
But you don't feel like the first one drones though.
I feel like if someone out there has edited just the Don Vito stuff, I know it does play well, like we've talked about, against the Michael stuff. But I feel like if you wanted to just be like, hey, if you want to see some cool stuff from the second one, just watch the Don Vito stuff, then I would recommend that. But yeah, I'm gonna
Let me
go.
see.
Yeah, 6.5. I'll go 6.5.
Yeah. Pretty sad.
It's well done, but it's
We,
not.
we've hit good movies over and over. This is actually kind of the first bump in the road in a while.
Yeah, and we were stoked on this one because the first one we loved. It was a fun experience. Thanks for joining us on Real Legends Podcast. We had a blast. I don't know if I can say that. We had a good time. Hope you did too.
I like talking about the leadership dynamic.
I love that
That was
part. Yeah, it made this a lot more enjoyable. I was actually afraid that I was going to talk for like 10 minutes and be done with this movie, but thinking about it more, that's why I like doing the podcast. That's why I like talking about it. Hope fans out there, you enjoyed this. If you have any thoughts about the movie, the first or second one, give us a old message or comment on Instagram, YouTube, or Spotify. We also put out polls on Spotify, so go check those out. Some of them are fun and or funny. But yeah, I guess we'll see you at the old cinema concession stand.
He sounds so sad.
Maybe I should get a new tagline. Maybe I should say.
Well, it's not the tagline. It's just the way you said it.
I know.
It just sounds so sad after watching this movie.
See you at the Italian family dinner. That's honestly like the most part that I like the most. Like, I just want to be Italian for the Italian dinners. Like,
Dude,
they like
hype.
always go all out for them.
Yeah.
And like have a lot of good food.
Dude, I just want to be in the room with like the patriarch of the family. Everyone out there is like doing their dumb little children things. All the girls are out there yapping about who knows what. All the dumb men are just like, dude, getting drunk and stuff. And then like the top tier dudes are in this little room with an awesome window and some sick leather couches. There's like 3 or 4 of them, and someone walks in and they say, "Leave us alone."
They close the door.
They shut the door, and it's like, dude, I want to be in there. I want to know what they're saying.
Absolutely.
That's where I want to be. In my house, I want to have a room with leather couches where I'll just be like,
Close
step
the
out.
door.
That'll be my big meeting room.
You don't even have to say close the door. Your men just take care of it.
Exactly. I'll just go, leave us be. And they know. And they're standing out there with Tommy guns.
Amen, brother. We'll catch you at the freaking cinema.
Catch on the flippity flop.